IVM.
Hey guys, welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. Some of you may find today's episode kind of hard hitting, and that's because I'm going to share a truth that may evoke the emotion of guilt in some. Now, my intention is not to make you feel guilty, but rather to make you aware so that you can think and act more consciously. The truth is that this need and want to find your life purpose is a privilege. It is a privilege that only those who have fulfilled their basic daily needs and wants can indulge in. Think about it. Somebody who doesn't have enough money to pay monthly bills or to put food on the table, well, their purpose in life is to make ends meet. But those of you out there who are seeking a life purpose that is beyond basic needs of food, shelter, paying your bills, indulging in some basic comforts and luxuries? Well, for you, you have the ability to seek a higher life purpose, one that can actually tap into your potential. And well, that, my friends, is a privilege. So the next time that you sit and think about wanting to find your life purpose, the next time you start feeling restless about it and feel grumpy and frustrated from within, the next time you feel that, oh, life is not so great, hit pause. Hit pause because the universe does not respond to your frustrations. Hit pause because those negative emotions will not allow you to tap into the right frequency, one that will open up the doors, open up your mind to see the opportunities in front of you, opportunities that lead you to your life purpose. But if you recognize your privilege and you take a deep breath, you will start to feel safe and secure in who you are and where you are in life right now. And from a centered and balanced feeling within, you will be able to recognize the opportunities that lead you to your life purpose. So, like I said, telling you that being able to find your life purpose or even being able to hold that desire to find your life purpose is a privilege is not about making you feel guilty. It's about telling you to not throw emotional tantrums. Yes, you are going to a job that you don't like. Yes, you earn money, a certain amount, but it's not good enough for you. Yes, you're not oh so famous and known on Instagram. Yes, your family does not look at you and tell you how great a job you are doing in anything. Well, in the words of today's generation, these are first world problems. Think about it. There are people who go to work every day to a job that they hate because that monthly check pays the bills and puts food on their table. It allows them to live a basic and fairly decent life. For some people, it doesn't even do that. Those aren't the people who are sitting around thinking about their life purpose. So when you think about your life purpose, stop slamming the panic button. You are not running out of time. You will find your life purpose when the time is right. And when will the time be right? When you have evolved into a version that is capable of living that life purpose. Now let's turn this lens around a little bit and let's assume that you recognize your privilege, that you recognize that the job that you do or the life that you live is fairly comfortable and it leaves you with time and mind space to think about what more can this life be about. So then I throw another question to you. What if I told you that it isn't about what your life purpose is or can be, but rather it's about what do you want your life purpose to be. If I pose that question to you today, that I give you a magic wand, and whatever you want your life purpose to be, it can be that. What would you choose? If you are choosing to exercise your privilege, to indulge your ability and capacity to find your life purpose and live it, then think from a space of desire and not just what it should be. The universe is not sitting around to dictate terms to you. When you ask, what is my life purpose? What could it be? What should it be? Is it because you are seeking guarantees of no failure when you do find it? Think about all the privilege that you enjoy. Whether it is a comfortable home, whether it's the fact that your parents were able to give you a certain kind of education, whether it is that they support you in a specific way or in many ways, whether it is that you don't really need to earn to pay bills to run a home, but rather what you earn you spend on yourself to afford a certain lifestyle. These are all privileges. List them down. Also list down the privilege of time, exposure, experience, access that you have. And when you do this, make a list of all your strengths and all your skills. Now look at the potential that you are holding. If you try to do this in your mind, you will not feel the impact of it. So sit with paper and pen and make these lists. Because when it's there, clearly written down in front of you, that's when it hits you. That's when you can ask yourself, I have so much. What can I do with this that will satisfy my soul? Because at the end of the day, this whole notion of finding your life purpose, of giving meaning to your life, is supposed to do what? It's supposed to satisfy your soul. Don't even for a second think that if your life purpose, by way of impacting someone's life, changes their life, you will not feel gratified or satisfied. Let me tell you as a life coach, when I change someone's life, it feels bloody damn good. It satisfies my soul. But I did not find this life purpose by asking, oh, what is my life purpose? I found it by asking, what all can I do given the privileges that I have? Well, that's the truth that I'd like to share with you today. And I hope that this tiny exercise that I've shared with you in today's episode helps you, takes you 5 or 10 or 20 steps closer to figuring out your life purpose. Well, on that note, for those of you who've tuned into this podcast for the first time through this episode, all the previous episodes are available on the IVM Podcast app and website, and I would recommend listening to it. Even to those of you who have been listening to my podcast regularly, go back to the previous episodes because those tools, those exercises will always help you. And I'm sure that no matter what you are going through in your life, there is a tool, there is a hack, there is a perspective in one of these 160 odd episodes that can help you today. So go back and listen to it. If you would like to connect with us, our Instagram and Twitter handles are IVM Podcasts. And if you would like to reach out to me personally, my Instagram handle is Positivity Angel. I do love receiving all your DMs. I read all of them and I always do my best to respond. On that note, I'm going to catch you again in the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Would like to thank our sponsors on the network this week. Siet, thank you so much for sticking with us. On the Paisa Vaisa podcast, Anupam was joined by Sujata Alawat, who spoke about women's credit behavior and about improving credit scores for better financial health. Gauri Devi Dayal was joined by Barkha Dutt on This Round is on Me. She shared her thoughts on present-day media and journalism and some of her experiences from the days of her reporting. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talked about how meditation is like getting engrossed and absorbed into an activity where you are free of other thoughts and focus on just one thing. On Agro Station Adulthood, Ritasha and Ayushi were joined by Supriya and Priyanka Joshi for an honest and heartfelt conversation about life as a woman in the 2020s. On the Filter Coffee podcast this week, Karthik invited Bala Srinivas, who has been an active mentor in the startup scene in India, and they discuss its various aspects from funding to government support. Our traveling professor Siddharth talks about this academic document called Statement of Purpose and helps us understand its concept and shares and some tips on how to draft it well. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the three of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.